Jesus, Jesus. And I reckon just Jesus.
Woman there holding the young child, that's the woman that founded the school. And she looks much older, but she's younger than I am. She actually has malaria. She went down as a volunteer and just fell in love with the kids and wanted to help even more. So she stayed in Guatemala.
Morning devotions.
This is what we talked about for morning devotions. These are pictures of the kids in the sewing room. And there were two long rows of the treadle machines that we had talked about. And the boys and girls absolutely love to have their picture taken.
Boys.
Absolutely. They think it's the greatest thing. And they love to take the camera from you and put it 2 inches away from your face and take pictures. So we have lots of those kind of pictures too. Younger grades, like we talked about, made the hand puppets.
That's
And we-
Nelson over there.
Yes, isn't Nelson sweet? Oh, he is just... Well, all the younger kids made the puppets, and one of our fellow travelers brought her puppet. She does ministry in her church with puppets, and she brought her friend with her, and we had a puppet show with the kids and her puppet.
The baby.
And these are the moms who worked with me, and these were some of the outfits that they made for themselves and their families.
Look at the little girl. She's so cute.
Yes.
They made that.
Yep. And there's a few other outfits that they made. These were my two little friends, Linda and Heidi, and they were my 3rd grade class, and we got very attached to each other. Yeah. Very sweet girls. These are Victoria and Deborah's playmates. While we were sewing, they were doing all the playing, keeping the kids occupied. There's our little friend Ludwig. He was a cutie pie. No front teeth at all.
He had little vampire like
Vampire bangs.
and the little cute little evil laugh.
And these were some of the pictures of the food and the crafts and culture that we had talked about with the other pictures.
No, that was well.
We get like 3 blue choices.
Well,
No,
this
this
was done part of their social studies project. So they had done this beautiful spread. The candies
part of
that
their
they have
project.
in the different regions are absolutely beautiful to look at. The colors are so rich and vibrant. Yeah, they make different types of candy in different regions. Everything is a little bit different.
Like pure sugar, basically.
Cool.
Then this is some of their cultural clothing. All of their fabric, like those girls are wearing little, and that it's all hand woven. The women, that's what they do. They weave fabric for a living and sell it.
And those are their musical instruments.
I don't know if you guys have learned in music class about the instrument that they're playing over there. That looks like a xylophone. It's actually called a marimba, and that's their national instrument. This is a little bit about the history about the school and history about Guatemala. So then in the evening, I did homework with my friend Deborah. And then we had prayer. My dad played the guitar. And we prayed.
When we went down, he brought the maximum suitcases. You know how you travel, you can take 2 suitcases? We were only allowed to use 1 suitcase for our own personal stuff, and the other we packed with medical supplies. And then we paid for extra suitcases to come with us. And we took 28 suitcases filled with just medical supplies.
And clothing.
And this is what it, when we open it up, this was one of the rooms that we had as a a medical station, and all the shelves, they sorted everything out so they knew what they had and would draw from it every morning when they'd go to Village, because they wouldn't take it all at once. And these are some pictures of the nurses and the doctors working with different patients. But they would take a number and line up and wait their turn for hours. This is the glass picture that we talked about. This is last year. They had a torrential downpour, for days, and they had a mudslide that took down one of the retaining walls of the school. And the group before our group spent their entire week digging through the mud to get to the base, and then our group put in the base and the retaining wall. This was the chicken coop that was one of their projects that they had done 2 years ago. And that was when my son went with my husband, and the following year, my son and 2 of their friends had their Eagle Scout project. They got their Eagle Scout Award, which is like the highest level of Boy Scouts, like your Girl Scout levels. So in lieu of people buying them gifts at the award ceremony, they asked for donations to go towards buying chickens for the chicken coop. So they were able to raise about $850 to send to buy chickens.
This is the Village.
Yeah. And if you notice, the women carry goods on their head. Now, I'm sure you've seen that in other cultures, but look at the size of that white, huge object on that woman's head, and she's balancing it. Get your pictures there.
There's a guy sleeping now.
Yep.
That feels so bad for them.
That's true.
And you see all the trash around in front of the animals, and that's the dump. This is their bakery.
Bakery.
And this is right in the school. It's very nice. That's one of the newer things. So they have a very nice setup. And this is what the men worked on this trip. And this was the medical offices that I was talking about. One is going to be for a dental office, and they have a donation of a dental chair. And the other room is for the medical clinic. The garden in the middle, that's where, it's right on the school property. That's where we get all our, the vegetables, the fruit,
Their
things like
carrots
that.
are about, they're bigger than my arm
Yeah.
and longer. It goes from about here to here, and they're huge.
They are huge, you'd never.
And the cabbage is bigger than people's heads.
And this is why we go. Look at those beautiful, beautiful children. And they're always smiling. They are just a joy.
Thank you very much.
Time to test the Guatemala chocolate?
I think
I think so.